Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I think I should start the presentation for today. It's actually just a briefing over the International BIM Competition. So, thank you, everyone, for participating this year. I don't need to clap, it's okay. Yeah, thank you. So, I'm from BCA, CCIT. My name is Woon Wei. I'm Pong. You can call me Pong or Woon Wei. So, for the International BIM Competition this year, so we are having the topic of computational BIM for DfMA. So the agenda for today is actually briefing through the objectives about the competition, target participants, and prizes, overall planning, detailed schedules, and so on and so forth. So there's so many. So let's go on one by one. Okay, the objective. The objective is actually to raise the awareness and build competency in using computational design and BIM innovatively for design, for manufacture and assembly. So it's in short DfMA. So about the competition, is open to full-time students from a registered tertiary institution in their respective country. So members need not be from the same school. Of course, there's only 2 submissions. The first is on the 7th, the second is on the 9th. But the interim submission only applicable to the local participants. So, and the final, there's actually one final presentation for shortlisted participants, which is the successful candidates, will be notified on the 16th of September. So the final presentation will be on the 23rd of September. So it will be an online conference. So we will try out through Skype, okay, at the moment. So the target participants is actually from the universities, polytechnics, and institutes from local and overseas. So for our prizes, the first prize is actually 5,000 Sing dollar, following with the 3,000 and 2,000 for the third prize. There's 6 numbers of merit prizes, and all the merit achievers will be able to obtain 800 Sing dollars. And the winners will be able to get 1 plug per group, and of course a certificate for every member. And the one who did not manage to win, there will be a certificate as well for the participants. Okay. So final results will be notified soonest by the 30th, which is the end of September. So top 3 winners will be invited to the SCPW Singapore Construction Productivity Week in Expo on the 18th October. So this is for the award ceremony, but all fees to attend the award ceremony will be required to be self-borne. So at the moment, we are in the preparation and also moving forward to the submissions. There will be hands-on session. So the coming 3 sessions will be on the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd. So all hands-on session registration already been closed. So the one that registered, please attend. So this is the detail schedule. The detailed schedule is actually explaining the overall dates, important dates. So the 7th is actually, and the 9th is the submission date clouded in red, highlighted in red. And the final presentation is actually on the 23rd. So as you can see, it's highlighted in this slide. So recommended roles and areas. So we have several roles. Actually, to build one building, this is a simple approach for the team leader to be able to facilitate the entire communication. And of course, the architectural approach, the M&E, QS, and of course, the builders, which means the contractors, the specialists for DfMA or other considerations that you might need to consider. So minimum 3 students and maximum 8 students. So self-grouping for the above arrangements. But of course, there's actually a waiver if there's actually one country that applied with only 2 participants. So there's actually a waiver application upon approval from the senior management. So the topic for this year is actually design on an exhibition pavilion with computational design and building information modeling, BIM, towards design for manufacture and assembly, DfMA. So the design challenges. So the three design challenges is actually the sustainability considerations, the constructability, and the productivity. So all of these must be captured in your design considerations. Under the sustainability, you need to have a resource efficiency approach, environmental impact consideration, and of course, how does your temporary pavilion has the social effect when it's actually located in the central of Singapore, one of central. So constructability, you need to consider the modular approach, the prefabrication, and of course the rapid assembly. And for productivity, maximizing the value and minimizing the waste is the lean approach. So for the requirements, you need to consider over the form, innovative design structure, any proposal, any materials is open. That should be able to respond strategically with the climate, okay, which is you need to protect your building from heat, sun, rain, and etc. Of course, the maximum height is 12 meter high, including the structural and all architectural component. So the spatial arrangement, the total area is actually 400 square meter, including the reception area, main entrance, and the exhibit item. The maximum size for the transportation is actually 3 meter by 9 meter by 9, 3 by 6 by 9. So the lighting requirements, which is a typical approach when you're doing designs. Of course, the flexibility of the internal partitions when necessary. So which means your external components can be considered to be used as internal partitions. Maybe that is actually one of the considerations. Of course, the toilets, where do you go segregate your public services and your private arrangements. And all need to be universal friendly so that families can come. Natural ventilated, and of course the air conditioned area is catered for certain requirements when your exhibits, when your items need to be air conditioned. So access, bicycle and pedestrian connectivity. So there's no requirement for the cars. Okay, so the key is to have a digital approach generating design options so that computational approach can be captured for the design challenges and using BIM for production and collaboration. So the location is actually at the Padang. So it's an open space, flat open space, so surrounded by some of the key buildings around. So this is the location plan. So this is the site plan. So there's actually a CAD being sent to all participants just a while ago. Okay. So this is the progress guide. So every team's got their own progress. So this is actually the guide to help you. What are the deliveries if the entire competition is scheduled in 4 days only? Okay. So the first day, it will need to generate the analysis, the basic proposal, the collaboration, the concept. Okay, this is the first key thing you need to do. Then the second item for the second day is actually the design development. The design development in terms of the details, the coordinations between different services, and of course, you need to have the reports. Okay, so this is the task 2. So for the on the 7th of September, so this is basically what you need to finish. So for task 3 is actually the Excel diagram and all over the reports for construction planning, which is how the product is being built. Okay, so you'll have a basic consideration in terms of assembly, schedules, planning, production, site management, and module delivery, storage, sequence of installation. So there will be A4 report as well. So the final day 4 is actually for the production process. So you'll need to generate everything in this day 4 is for production. So which means you need to have a video that records what was your progress being developed in stages. Okay. So, and of course your presentation slides in PowerPoint, and there will be 4 panels. These 4 panels is actually PowerPoint slides given to everyone here. It's already emailed, so you can reference to that to generate your content. So I will explain it briefly later also. So the computational BIM approach, what are the considerations, the creativity and innovation? So at different stages, what are the key elements? So for pre-design, let's say you need to set your attributes within your relationship, okay, from your form to your requirements. So this is some of the elements that you need to consider. And design for manufacture and assembly is actually the modular. Actually, everything can be considered, can have the DfMA approach. For instance, a chair. We can have a chair is actually a product that manufactured from the suppliers in a factory, right? So therefore, building can also be assembly. So we are approaching the entire competition this year with the DfMA approach with this concept. So the judging criteria is only judging for the design quality, the DfMA, which you need to show, you need to demonstrate multiple options using the computational approach to arrive at optimum solution, which is one from overall so many. So then the third one, which is project delivery. So which means it needs to be real. Okay. Once you are designing a pavilion, how the panels is actually being constructed, the modular, the sizes, it needs to be real, so that maybe later it can be realized possibility. Okay. So these are our judging panels, and then okay, for this year, instead of the organizer creating so many Google Drives, we need to request from the participants, because there are so many participants this year, that you self-create your own link, then you send the link to us. So please self-verify, ensure all the links is working. So upload your items, send it to us, then we'll download accordingly. Okay, very straightforward, because Google cannot be accessed in certain country. So for other countries that cannot access Google, you can try your own preference platform. Okay, common chat. So the design brief and template is already uploaded in the bimsg.org. Before I upload it, it's already sent to everyone also, the participants. So this is the project reference. So it's already, actually is a build project, also being presented in one of the sharing sessions by Thomas Wortman and Aloysius Lien. So this is the pavilion that showcase product Future of Us, and it was hosting one of the Garden by the Bay's activities also. As you can see, modularity, flexibility, and multiplicity, okay, being adopted. And in the year 2013, SIA also hosted a similar idea competition. So this is one of the project reference that you can embark on. Okay, these are the 22 speakers that already completed. Okay, I hope everyone already gained some basic knowledge in terms of the computational approach. And then we have online trainings, and of course online sharings as well, and a microsite created for you to learn. So the ongoing training hands-on, we hope that everyone can attend. Okay, so that is the end of my briefing. And then before I end, let's go proceed with the template. So this is the 4 number of template that is already sent to everyone. So the first one is actually explaining the basic concept, okay, in point form. So overall perspective, overall view, how does your pavilion relates with the surrounding context. Okay, you need to have a bird's eye view. Then from there you explain how does your form and space relates. Okay, you can use diagrams or anything any infographics you prefer. Then sustainability approach. Then follow on with the BIM computational approach and your conceptual diagram. Okay, so it's arranged for you already. And about the pavilion, what is needed to be explained. So it's already itemized. This is a reference, of course. You have your own preference. You can have your own arrangement. The second template is on the floor plans and, of course, the perspective view. After the overall looking at how does the urban context, you look into the building context. Okay, so the first image is actually to express the building form. Then following on with the DfMA approach, and then of course your construction details. Okay, then your site plan, your floor plans need to be incorporated in here. So as a reference, it can be 1 to 200. Of course, 1 to 200 is not a big scale, so not a lot of details. If you want to show more, you can of course self-rearrange the entire thing. Okay. And then this is actually showing the elevations and the interior view. Internal perspective of your exhibition. So you showcase, express your spatial arrangement, the flexibility, what kind of item you want to exhibit. Is it a dinosaur, a skeleton or anything? Okay, it's a temporary exhibition space that you can imagine. And then from here, you explain the construction sequence, okay, which means how is your item being delivered, where do you store, or your sequence of the construction approach. You can explain in terms of diagram. After the elevations, you go into the construction details at the final presentation panel. Okay, this is a sectional perspective or night view, so it depends on you. So these are technical slides, but this is a very important slide because it's actually showcasing the summary and the conclusion. So, which means how computational BIM is being generated for various options, you come to one. So how and why? Okay, with these 4 slides, I believe it is very a holistic approach, so that the design is explained thoroughly. Besides, there's actually a report, maximum 10 pages. Okay, you can write as many, but the thing is, the judges cannot take so many. So that's a reason for us to limit you 10 pages maximum. Okay, so okay, that's all for my briefing for today. So any questions? Yes.
For the board, I do need to keep the A4 and blacklist.
Report, A4 report, is it? The board, yes. For the board, right? A1 size panel, the top and bottom is needed. The top is actually SCPW. So because the entire event is gearing towards SCPW, so later your presentation board will be distributed, will be presented as well, printed. So the top is for that. Bottom is your team, who are the one. So the top and bottom you need to retain. The center one you can rearrange. Yeah. Any more questions? PowerPoint slides are, okay, actually it depends on, it's actually open at the moment. So how many, actually is gearing towards 15 to 20 minutes presentation. So recommended 20 slides max. 1 minute per slide is more than. At the moment, we can send out later, yeah. Exhibition is a temporary exhibition pavilion. So the exhibition items, right, can be flexible. Let's say for a museum, it can be drawings. So therefore, there will be hang-on items. There will be items displayed on the floor. There will be hanging in the air. So these are, yes.
But then the dimension that you gave us?
Yes. The maximum dimension is 3 by 6 by 9, right? It's written, yeah. The maximum height. So it's catered for the transportation.
But
Yeah.
I thought transport maximum height is 4.5.
Yeah, of course, you can,
We just ignore that for this competition.
yeah, can also. But the maximum consideration, because everything can be assembled, correct? So therefore, the maximum exhibit is 3 by 6.9.
Okay, but then if like steel elements, all those, the height we can go up to 6 also.
Actually, the maximum height is 12 meter for the building, including everything. So your bottom should be 9 meter high. Yes?
For the PPT, is it must be a summary of all the design and the research we did, or we just need to present our design concept only, included in the PPT?
You are asking during the final presentation, or you're asking about the report? Yes. Oh, okay. Actually, the PPT is to present, to impress the judges. So therefore, you do not need to present, include everything in the PPT. You just need to extract the most impressive item, then structure it according to your, to the PowerPoint we send out in the A4 format will do, actually, yeah. Any more questions? Yes?
Can you explain the assumption for the day 1, day 2, and day 4?
Oh.
What are the assumptions?
Day 2 and day 4. Day 2 is actually the design development. So this is actually a guide that we help you. So what are the design development? Let's say when you are doing a pavilion, after the day 1 your concept, how does the form looks like, right? Then you go into construction details. How does your pavilion panels for the roofing? So at the moment, the entire pavilion, the key element is the roof. So if it is an organic shape, so how do you form the organic shape? Then if it is broken into a modular approach, how does the joint works? Okay, how does the modularity, flexibility comes in? So is it a flexible material, or is it a flexible joint? So yeah, it depends on your design, various forms, approach, rationality, and your concept. So this is for the day 2. So,
What are the information?
yeah, so all the informations required is actually in the presentation slides sent here. Basically, what you need to do is actually thinking of how the building can be constructed, right? Is actually the 4 panels. The first panel is explain the.
But 4 panel is on 4th day, right?
Yeah, so the first and second will be the intermediate. So to explain your concept and to explain your construction details. Construction details meanings the roofing panels, how is it? Sorry?
4 panel is 4 panel is
Yes.
second day.
No, on the 4th day is 4 panels. On the second interim is just 2 panels. Yeah. Yeah, 2 panels and A4 summary over the report, maximum 5 pages. Just explaining what's your concept, how is it being built. Very straightforward. So on the day 4th is actually a production day. So we are trying to help everyone to do a competition in terms of your scheduling and the planning. Of course, anyone can plan it earlier, right? Is there any other questions that I can assist? So there's actually a lot of examples now that is available freely online. So you can take a look in our website and just do your research online or ask your lecturers for help. If there's no more questions, we should stop for a break, then follow on with our past year winners for the sharings. Okay, thank you. So we'll come back 3:15.
No need really fast, never mind. You can movement sketch. Press then also can show some of you pretending to do.
Oh, I see.
Hi. Yeah. Here is the sharing session by the us. Yeah, we are last year's winner. Our group is called Victoria's Secret. Yeah. Yeah. So my name is Zichen. Y'all can call me Ding if y'all have any questions later. So basically, I will show you all the 20 PowerPoint slides that we have prepared for the final submission, because I think you all have quite a few questions on the PowerPoint slides and the final submission. So this is the slides that we have prepared for judges and for the final presentation. So the first slide is the overview about the process and all the different types of software that we use. The second is the Revit worksets and the central file, how we coordinate and how we distribute the modular units into the central file, and how we split the central file such that everybody can work together at the same time. Similar, this is also the coordination plan. So this is some of the pre-competition highlights that we did for the DfMA preparations. So in terms of the BIM side, some of the interesting stuff is we did a pedestrian heat flow, heat map analysis, where we analyze the pedestrian flow in the building and we generate where is the most frequent area that they visit. So then another one is the quantity surveying and the in Excel coding. So we coded example, what are the prices for the concrete, and based on the volume that we extracted from Revit, then we multiply and get the total cost. For the DfMA side, we research stuff like connection details, steel structure and concrete structure, and also timber, and we compare each properties and benefits and and pros and cons, and we select which one we use for our structure, for our system. So one important thing to take note is the overall workflow and our aims of our team. So our overall workflow, we have established this, I think, around 2 weeks before the competition. So we are quite clear about what to do and when do we need to finish the stuff. So this is quite important for the competition. And somehow it's a 2-week competition, so you all can plan actually quite a lot more than what we have done. So the daily deliverables are very important also, because we monitor our daily deliverables together with the BCA submission. Because last year was every day you had to submit a few lists of items, so that we not only submit the list required, but we also do extra stuff, and we keep our tracks record there. So this is the starting of the presentation, like what we do. So the first one is the site analysis, planning and traffic analysis. So basically we did a road count there before the competition, and after that we analyze how many traffic flow and whether the curvature of the road is enough for the lorry truck to turn over. Not turn over, but to turn into the site. Yeah, then our meshing models using Ecotech and Flow for the sun and the wind analysis. Our design detailing plus documentation. This was a process screenshot whereby, like let's say first day we did this, so that we detail all this stuff. Then the second day we detail more, and the third day we detail more. So in the end, it was a detailed section and a detailed elevation cut. So our modular configuration are as follows. Like there will be module 1 and module 2 mainly. Then after that, we will split into smaller modules to model. So we had a parametric family also, where like we downloaded from the manufacturer Toto and some other manufacturer, generic manufacturer, so that we have our cost and our URI, all those stuff is already there in Revit. So now I'll show you a simple modular configuration and fabrication. This is a short video whereby we show like how the module is being assembled. Assembly. Yeah. Yes, and some interior renders. This one is our civil side and our structure side, whereby we did module 1 and module 2 quantity takeoff and structure analysis. So we tabulate the total cost using quantity takeoff, and after that we add them together and also have analysis check on load combinations and different type of loadings. So yeah, this is our connection detail where we, after detailing some of the process, then after that we take a look at important joints, like how do we stack the module together, how the walls are being connected, because we are using steel frame. So our sustainability include our CUI calculations and also our energy calculations. So another thing is our module delivery, storage, hoisting, and logistic planning. So we assume that our site was at Jurong. Then after that, we take note of the time to deliver to the site, from the factory to the site. Then after that, we analyze how many modules can we install per day. Then based on that, how many days do we need to complete. So forming from that information, we form a Gantt chart, which had a time saving of around 45%. So this was the construction simulation of the whole building. Oh, I think the quick time is not available. It's okay. Okay, so this will be our PowerPoint presentation. So that will be all the 20 slides that we have presented for the judging. So to do a summary, basically these are what we want to give advice to you all on the competition. So basically, what should you expect? It basically is a 2-week competition, so plan systematically, don't rush. Don't be worried about problems, because competition are meant to have problems. So I mean, if you don't have problems, then you should be worried. So there will be times that everybody have different opinion. Solve it and discuss it together. So what should you plan? You should plan a daily submission, not only to meet the requirement, but to be submitting more than what the requirement is saying. So monitor the hours. This one is more practical for us, because we need to know that how many hours needed for exchange of each models, because we only have 4 days. So we need to keep note of the time track closely. So yeah, be bold and challenge yourselves. So 2 of the things I will highlight is, one is our workflow. Our workflow is quite important, because everybody know which day they are going to have their sleep, and which day they are going to free, and which day they are going to be very busy. So we know that if that particular person need help, then another person can come in and help. Yeah, we also had pre-competition meetings. Like we think that let's say what are the deliverables for our day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Then after that, we highlight those stuff that because some of the stuff that we highlight is maybe can be dragged, because it won't affect the next flow. So as in let's say design and model the modular unit. So if, let's say, I design slowly, the final model will not be affected, because since the assembly of the final model will be done in day 3 or day 2 even. So this was our planning stages. Some of the questions that we asked ourselves, and what do we do after that, the solutions, and how we name our files. Yeah, keeping the file neat is also very important, because when you want to link the files together, and when you want to see which file is the most updated one, it's quite convenient. So one of the stuff that you should research is understanding the topic. Computation and DfMA, these 2 are the key importance of this year's competition. So having to understand computation and DfMA together within like these 2 weeks is quite important. So focus on what your team believes in. So just now, 3 of the highlight was sustainability, productivity, and one more was what? I forgot. One more was the other one. So yeah, so you all have to focus on what your team believe is your pavilion or your structure is the best in. So research on different areas and share with each other. This one, you all can't like, let's say 8 people research on the same area and expect the research to be done. So research on different areas and share with each other at the final presentation and stuff. Apply BIM in as many areas as possible. We included BIM in traffic, we included in BIM in heat map, and actually we also wanted to include BIM in acoustic, but then the last day we didn't have much time, so yeah. So this is our secret. Treat yourself as professionals and think in a big picture. Coordination is the key. Learning new skills is essential, so do not think that whatever you have been taught, you just duplicate in the competition, then that's fine. So, yeah. So you have to learn new skills along the way. So having the right set is very important. BIM is like a new platform, so what you put on top of this platform is the key. So lean construction actually has been in the construction industry for very long. Yeah, I think in my father's age also have. So, why is this lean construction being brought up again? It's because DfMA offers it a new kind of platform. So no one person is good enough to make every decision, so discussion is very important. The leader can make most of the decision, but then you still have to discuss with your teammate and how every individual and every professional feels. Yeah, so that will be the end of my presentation. So any questions?
One question. Okay, when during your team discussion, right? So what if there's actually a conflict? How do you settle it?
Yeah, actually there's quite a number of conflicts in our team. Usually the team discussion boils down to having 2 different opinions where like maybe 3 members stand on one side and the other 4 members stand on one side. So as a leader, you most likely have to make the final call. Like let's say if one of the problems that I can share is doing the meshing model. So the mesh model, we wanted to make 3 mesh model, then after that choose the best one. Or we can choose to make one mesh model and straight away skip to the next step. So 3 mesh model, of course, is more time consuming. Because last year we didn't have computation, so last year we basically have to hand draw the 3 mesh model, so it take more time. But then we feel, in the end, we feel that having 3 mesh model and showing that actually we compared the 3 different design was much more valuable than just going through the competition, as in just going through past the mesh model stage. Yeah, so this kind of decision you have to really think on the spot and hope for the best.
Okay, so leaders, please take note. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for the presentation. So, if there are no further questions, so we shall end this briefing. So the PowerPoint slides format I will email out later. So thank you everyone. So please come for the next hands-on session. Okay, thank you. And good luck, all the best. Okay. Oh.